The Amish, known for their simple way of life, are growing powerful cannabis strains that few outsiders have ever heard of. In their quiet farms, hidden behind rows of corn and wheat, they cultivate cannabis with a level of skill that rivals top growers. How did a community that avoids modern technology master the art of this cultivation? What we are about to uncover will make you want to join the Amish lifestyle.
Welcome back, guys. My name is Buck Whitaker.
A different kind of crop in Amish country. The Amish, known for their old world traditions and simple way of life, have turned their expert farming skills towards something unexpected: high-quality cannabis. That's right, the same people who reject electricity and modern conveniences are cultivating some of the purest cannabis strains out there. If that sounds wild, just wait. There's a whole lot more to this story than meets the eye. Before we dive deeper, it's clear that the Amish aren't just growing cannabis, they're doing it in a way that will challenge everything you thought you knew, and this is only the beginning. For centuries, the Amish have lived apart from modern society, relying on their own skills and community to survive. They arrived in North America in the 1700s and settled in places like Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana, where they built their world around faith, family, and farming. Their way of life is untouched by modern distractions, but that doesn't mean they're stuck in time. The Amish have always been smart about business, whether it's selling handcrafted furniture, fresh produce, or baked goods at local markets. But in recent years, traditional crops like corn and wheat haven't brought in the money they used to. So what's a hardworking farmer to do when the world around him changes? Simple. Find a crop that pays. And cannabis pays big. Let's be clear about something. The Amish aren't smoking what they grow. To them, cannabis is just another plant like tobacco or hemp, and they treat it the same way. Their focus is on farming, not using. But here's where things get interesting. Amish farmers have perfected the art of growing cannabis without synthetic fertilizers, pesticides, or industrial machinery. Every plant is hand-tended, grown in rich soil, and nurtured with time-honored farming techniques. The result? Some of the cleanest, highest quality cannabis strains on the market. But not every Amish community agrees with this new direction. The Amish live by a strict code of rules called the Ordnung that dictates everything from clothing to farming methods. Some communities see cannabis as just another cash crop, while others view it as a dangerous step toward modern influence. Still, the economic benefits are hard to ignore. Cannabis is legal in more places than ever, and the profit margins are life-changing. For some Amish families, it's the difference between struggling to make ends meet and securing a future for their children. Now, let's talk about what makes their strains so special. Amish farmers don't chase trends or pump out flashy hybrids. Instead, they focus on what works, strains that thrive in their climate and reflect their commitment to purity. One standout is Sour Amish Diesel, a potent twist on the famous sour diesel. It's got an earthy, citrusy aroma and is known for boosting creativity and focus. And then there's Amish OG Kush, a slow-cured indica strain grown in traditional wooden barns. This one's all about relaxation, with a deep herbal flavor and a powerful calming effect. Ever heard of Pennsylvania Gold? This hybrid strain is as balanced as they come, offering a euphoric but productive high. It's tough enough to handle Pennsylvania's unpredictable weather, making it a perfect fit for Amish outdoor farming. Lancaster Lights is another standout, a smooth, uplifting strain grown with minimal interference, letting its fruity flavor shine through. And of course, there's Black Buggy Kush, a rare indica strain named after the iconic Amish buggies. It's packed with spicy, earthy terpenes and grown using compost teas instead of chemical fertilizers, keeping it as pure as possible. The common thread in all these strains is the Amish commitment to doing things the natural way. There are no giant greenhouses, no artificial lights, and no chemical shortcuts, just time, patience, and generations of farming knowledge. Their methods produce cannabis that's rich in flavor, potency, and purity, standing out in an industry flooded with mass-produced strains. And because the Amish understand the land better than most, their plants are naturally resistant to pests and weather changes, leading to consistently strong harvests. As more people want their cannabis, the Amish have found a way to keep farming the way they always have while still competing with big companies. Old-fashioned farming meets a new market. This isn't just about money, it's about survival. The world is changing fast, and even the most traditional communities have to adapt. The Amish aren't abandoning their values, they're using their skills in a way that ensures they can keep living the way they always have. And let's be real, if you're buying cannabis, wouldn't you rather get it from farmers who have been perfecting their craft for centuries? When you think of the Amish, cannabis farming is probably the last thing that comes to mind. But here's the thing, these traditional farmers have found a way to turn their old-school methods into something modern cultivators can't quite replicate. While big-time growers rely on fancy machines and artificial boosters, the Amish stick to what they know best, working with nature, not against it. And guess what? Their cannabis is in high demand, and there's a reason for that. Their time-tested techniques create a product so pure and rich that buyers are lining up for it. It all starts with the soil. Unlike industrial farms that pump chemicals into the ground, the Amish use age-old composting methods. Picture lush green fields nourished by natural fertilizers, manure from their own livestock, ash from wood-burning stoves, and leftover organic scraps. No artificial shortcuts, no synthetic boosters, just pure, untouched earth. And that's the first reason their plants thrive. The land isn't exhausted by overuse. Instead, it's carefully rotated to keep it rich and fertile. Their fields are chosen with care, and every square inch is cultivated with precision. And don't expect to see giant machines seeding these plants. Every single seed is planted by hand. Yes, by hand. No industrial seed drills, no high-tech automation, just dedicated labor and experience passed down for generations. Each plant is placed exactly where it needs to be for the best sun exposure and air circulation. That means no overcrowding, no stunted growth, just healthy, thriving cannabis that has space to reach its full potential. It's a method that requires patience, but the results speak for themselves. Of course, pests are always a challenge, but instead of drowning their crops in chemicals, the Amish use natural pest control methods. Think garlic sprays, neem oil, and even beneficial insects that keep the bad bugs away. This means their cannabis is as organic as it gets, free from the harmful residues that plague mass-produced alternatives. Their methods are simple but incredibly effective, allowing the plants to grow without being tainted by artificial interference. It's a level of purity that many modern growers simply can't match. Harvesting is where things get even more impressive. Forget the giant machines tearing through fields. Amish farmers use scythes and hand pruners to carefully trim each plant. It's an art, not just a process. Every cut is made with precision, ensuring that the plant is handled with care from start to finish. And drying? It's done the old-fashioned way in wooden barns where the climate works its magic. No rushed artificial drying, no forced methods, just a slow, natural process that preserves every bit of potency, flavor, and richness. The result? A product with deeper terpene profiles and cannabinoids that aren't stripped away by industrial techniques. But there's a big question here. How do the Amish sell their cannabis if they reject modern technology? The answer lies in partnerships. They team up with non-Amish distributors, known as English in their community, to handle the marketing and sales. While the Amish stay true to their traditions, their partners take care of the business side, ensuring their product reaches eager buyers. And make no mistake, people are paying attention. Despite not having flashy websites or aggressive social media campaigns, Amish-grown cannabis is making waves through word of mouth alone. Their farming methods may seem old, but their careful work and focus on quality have made their cannabis some of the most valuable in the market. The Amish way is taking over the market. Their approach has built a reputation that money can't buy. Much like their handcrafted furniture and homemade goods, their cannabis is viewed as premium, artisanal, and worth every penny. It's not just about the product, it's about the process, the tradition, and the craftsmanship behind it. Small batch, carefully grown, and never rushed, these are the qualities that set Amish cannabis apart from the mass-produced options flooding the market. Some Amish communities have even experimented with subtle branding. No loud logos, no flashy designs, just simple, earthy packaging that reflects their agricultural roots. The demand continues to grow as more buyers seek authenticity over factory-farmed cannabis. There's something about knowing where your product comes from, knowing that it was grown with care rather than mass production. That's what keeps customers coming back, and the Amish know it. And here's something else to think about. Despite cultivating one of the most controversial crops in the world, the Amish themselves don't use it. They see it as a way to support their families and communities, not as a personal indulgence. They're not getting high off their own supply, they're simply doing what they do best, farming with skill, patience, and deep respect for the land. The Amish have found a way to succeed in a business that is usually controlled by huge modern companies with expensive machines and advanced technology. Instead of changing their ways, they have stayed true to what they know best, working with nature, using simple tools, and following traditions passed down for generations. Many believe farming must be fast, large-scale, and full of chemicals to make money, but the Amish have shown that there is another way. Even in a world where people rush to grow crops as quickly as possible, their method proves that patience and care can lead to something even better. Their success is not just about farming, it's about holding on to values that others have abandoned. There is no hidden trick behind what they do. Their success comes from hard work, deep respect for the land, and an understanding of nature that many have forgotten. While massive farms use artificial lights and chemicals to speed up growth, the Amish rely on the sun, the seasons, and the soil, just as farmers did long ago. They don't rush the process or look for shortcuts. Instead, they take their time, making sure each plant gets the attention it needs to grow strong and pure. Because of this, their crops stand apart from the rest, offering something that feels real in a world filled with artificial shortcuts. The cannabis industry is one of the most competitive markets today, with new growers appearing every year hoping to make quick money. Many farms push for bigger and faster production, but in doing so, they often lose the natural quality of the plant. The Amish, however, refuse to compromise on their traditions. Their methods might seem old-fashioned, but that is exactly what makes them so successful. They understand that farming is not just about growing a product, it is about caring for the earth, respecting the process, and producing something worth waiting for. What they do goes beyond growing crops. It is about resilience, tradition, and proving that sometimes the best way forward is to look to the past. In an industry that is constantly shifting, with new trends and technology changing how things are done, the Amish remain steady. They are not just keeping up with the competition, they are showing the world that their way of farming is not outdated, it is something modern growers struggle to match. Their work is a reminder that patience, respect, and dedication still have a place in today's world. Are the Amish simply skilled farmers, or is there a deeper reason behind their cannabis cultivation? Could they be hiding something the world isn't ready to know? Tell us what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.